Wow. All right. Hats off to you, Sony. You did it. You made me a future buyer of the PlayStation 5. What's up, everybody? RetroRob64 here. Let's talk about some gaming news. So we just wrapped up with the PlayStation's 5 reveal event, and I'm shocked. They did it. They managed to make this actually happen. And it was great. I honestly loved this whole presentation as a whole, but I want to get into a few of the things that I saw that could be really exciting, a little troublesome, and a little curious about what the future of the PlayStation brand is going to be. So I actually haven't even had a chance to take a shower yet or anything. I was just so excited. I watched it, and I needed to make this video immediately because I got a lot of notes to go. First things first, obviously let's get the big one out of the way. We got Spider-Man revealed, Spider-Man Miles Morales. Kind of a predictable sequel in some ways, since Miles was heavily in the new Spider-Man game that came out for PlayStation 4, but a welcome sequel. I'm excited to go through Miles' story. Miles Morales has a great arc in the comics, so I'm very excited to go through his storyline to see where this goes from here. Obviously, as well, too, we didn't get much gameplay for that game, but from what I saw, I mean, we've already seen Spider-Man on PlayStation 4. It can only go up from there, right? We're also hoping maybe we might see a PlayStation 5 remake of Spider-Man or some kind of HD update. They always talked about how quickly they can do zooms and zooming through the city and stuff like that with the new PlayStation 5 architecture. So maybe we'll see something closer to the launch of Miles Morales, maybe with the original Spider-Man on PlayStation 4. So we'll see. Also, we saw Horizon Forbidden West revealed, which is essentially Horizon Dawn 2, for lack of better terms, I suppose. It looked great. I don't know how much gameplay we saw. We saw a trailer. Looked great. I got chills. So I'm actually considering playing through Horizon Zero Dawn again, actually, after this video. So it did the job. I'm excited. So we're also thinking it's going to be a launch title for PlayStation 5. There was no release date announced, so we'll see. It's a good possibility. My money's on that it will be there at the PlayStation 5. We saw lots more Godfall, which is a new game from Gearbox. They're the guys that created Borderlands and the entire series. Obviously a little bit different than Borderlands, much more in the graphical department than I think Borderlands was. Not to say Borderlands isn't pretty, it's a pretty game. It's just Godfall is at a different tier of pretty. And we saw a lot more about how the haptic feedback is going to make such a big deal. Jeff Keighley actually was talking with one of the developers on the game, and he had some great insights about haptic feedback, about how you'll slide on the ground and you'll feel the difference between gravel and dirt. Things like that were really, really interesting. They're really, really leaning into this haptic feedback thing, which should be pretty interesting going forward. We also got Ratchet Clank revealed for the PlayStation 5. Game looks amazing. I've actually never played any of the Ratchet Clank games. I know. I'm sorry. I actually looked into the collection for PlayStation 3. They remastered the first 3 games, so I'm looking into that, and hopefully I get a chance to play through those before this new game comes out. This game looks really interesting, though. I think they're really showing off a lot of the SSD architecture, zooming between these different worlds. It's kind of like, hey, we can do this without load times now. Pretty big boon for the PlayStation 5, if I do say so myself. And the sound design was actually pretty interesting as well, too, I thought. I was wearing headphones while I was watching this presentation, and I really was enthralled by how the sounds, all these different sounds were coming from all different worlds. And this was just a trailer. This wasn't even the gameplay quite yet. It was definitely indicative of gameplay, but it wasn't like I was playing the game and like I was immersed in that sound. So I think that's part of the reason why they told you to wear headphones while listening to this presentation. It's showing what PlayStation 5 is going to do, and I'm really excited. I think it's great. For this game, the Ratchet & Clank game, it's kind of a return to form. From what I've been hearing, the series has kind of evolved a little bit in terms of gameplay. So this seems like it's going to kind of bring back that original formula that was what made the series so famous to begin with. You gotta have a Gran Turismo, you gotta have a racing game, right? And this game looks phenomenal. I haven't played Gran Turismo in a very long time. To be quite fair, I think the last one I played was on PlayStation 2, which at the time looked amazing. The game still holds up pretty well today, which I think is really a testament to the developers themselves. So when a new Gran Turismo is announced, you pay attention. And I think this game looks phenomenal. They did do some gameplay, which was a nice thing to show for us. And it did show like almost like a hub world, which let me know in the comments below if that's kind of been a thing lately for the series, but that seems new to me and I'm pretty impressed with it so far. I definitely think they're trying to compete with Forza, which is funny because Forza tried to compete with Gran Turismo way once upon a time. So, nice little ebb and flow. But yeah, I'm really excited for this game. The gameplay that they showed, where you're, I think you're driving the Aston Martin, I believe, and that car, you know, sounds everything about it. Obviously, you're gonna have lots of haptic feedback when you're going through those turns. And you're feeling the acceleration. I think it's gonna be an amazing, amazing game. I can't wait. That may be a day one purchase for me. And I haven't played Gran Turismo in a long time, so I should tell you something. And finally, they revealed the PlayStation 5. And it's not what anyone expected at all, as far as I can tell. We all expected a V shape. We all expected this, you know, very flat, horizontal design. And what we got was quite the contrary. To me, personally, it looks like something Alienware would make. The console design is very sleek, very sexy, a very refined look to it. I actually liked how during the entire presentation, you kind of saw these like transitions between the videos, between the trailers and gameplay of the PlayStation logos, the X, the triangle, the circle, the square. They all kind of were forming together, and I kind of predicted that, oh, I think this is going to lead up to a reveal because it's just so amoeba-like, and they're showing the evolution of the console and the brand and where it's going from here. I actually really, really liked how they did that. I thought it was a good like start, beginning, and end to the whole broadcast. It was like, this is where we were, this is where we are, and this is where we're going. I thought it was a great bookend to the whole broadcast to really show this is the PlayStation 5 and the future of gaming. I'm excited. I can't believe it. And I'm not too much of a big PlayStation fanboy. I love the PlayStation brand. I love the Xbox. I love Nintendo. I love gaming in general. And this is, we're starting to see the beginnings of the next generation really coming to fruition. And let's just hope this thing is not $600. Please don't let this be $600. They did show also that it's going to come in two varieties. It's going to come with a disc drive for one of them, and an all-digital drive for the, an all-digital version of the console as well. So two different price points. That can be pretty much expected. I do have a few concerns about the console just going thus far. I'm not sure if it's able to be actually laid horizontally. Currently, my setup that I have for all my consoles, I almost have to have them laying horizontally. I have my Xbox One X horizontal, my PS4 Pro as well, which I don't know if you can actually lay that one on its side. Let me know in the comments below if you can. I don't think so, but I have a lot of horizontal designs so far, so I hope this one can. We'll just have to wait and see as more information is revealed, which they did announce. They said that more information's coming, which I'm all for. So yeah, overall, that was the PlayStation 5 event, and I'm very impressed. I'm very, very impressed. You know, at a time like this, where all these real-world situations happening, I think we all just needed some good news. We needed to know this thing is still coming. We needed to know what it looked like. We needed to know some good games are coming, and I think we got that. We got a lot of trailers for games that did have some gameplay and some pre-rendered cutscenes. We got a lot of good information that was already kind of known about the PlayStation 5, but it was hammered to the point. This is definitely going to have the SSD. This is going to have the haptic feedback controls. And we got to see the controller up close as well too, which was a comfort to many. There's a headphone jack, so don't worry, that's still there. It was a good overall experience, and I'm very glad that it's still coming. And up until this point, I was like, I'm probably going to go with Series X. I think the Xbox has kind of got the shoehorn, but Sony's done it again. They're back in the game, and I'm excited. This is a great time for gamers. Obviously, this has been around the time when E3 would have been around, so we're getting announcements, guys. We're getting great games coming to us. We're getting new consoles. Be happy. this is the best time ever for gamers. But let me know in the comments below what you thought of the PlayStation 5 event. Did you have fun watching it? Were you bored? My cat was actually hungry. I had to go feed him, so I missed a couple of trailers for a couple of minutes of footage for that regard. So I'll watch it back in probably after this video. But I was very excited. I was very happy. But let me know what you thought in the comments below. As always, guys, have a great day. Get some sunlight, all that good stuff, and see you next time.